Ferguson was patrolling these corridors, and a certain Roy Keane was commanding the Manchester United dressing room. And I'm delighted to say that Roy Keane is back in the dressing room today, along with Jamie. I'm not sure how you got in here, Jamie. Snuck in.
Spurs is good. It's a Spurs,
bit Spursy.
You'd love to be in this dressing room, wouldn't you, when you were a player, Jim?
Playing with, I would like to. When am I playing alongside of you? I've got to be honest, Roy. That's been a dream.
It's been a while, Roy, since you're in here.
Yeah, obviously, what to be? What age am I? 52. Over 20 years ago. Would it be that long?
What sort of emotions is it stirring you there?
No, mixed emotions. Great memories, of course, when I played here. Dressing room was a great place to be. I go back to it. I played with obviously some brilliant players, but just as important, brilliant characters and brilliant leaders, and us the place to be, especially if you had a good result.
Don't read too much, by the way, into the names that are around the room. We sort of can't get too many clues about the team news for later on, because these are names we've done just to decorate the space and just to show how different it is as well, Roy, from when you were in here. It's grown a bit.
Yeah.
So where did you sit? Where were you sitting?
I would have been this neck of the woods here, yeah. Right. Sitting amongst a few of the defenders. Obviously, I was a sitting midfielder. Yeah, having a bit of a chat. But dressing rooms, of course, got bigger. The squads are bigger, more staff, more modern, bigger screens. We just had one treatment table, pot of tea, a few biscuits. It was, and just having a chat before the matches and just getting in the zone and getting ready to go to battle.
Give us your idea of your ideal pre-match routine then for a
no, well, we used to come in the mornings, have a bit of pre-match. We'd be upstairs, obviously the players. I'd have a bowl of soup, a bit of toast. Come down here, you'd read the papers, watch something on the television. Manager would have a team talk, all very kind of relaxed. You know, not what you might think before a match. People thought you would be in here, the players would be ranting and raving. Nice and quiet. Nice and low-key. The players would be getting in the zone. We had a lot of experienced players. The work was done during the week. We were experienced players. We knew what was at stake. We knew playing for Man United, the pressure, the demands, and the dressing room was a great place to be. The best, especially if you had a good result. That's what I'd miss most, really, sitting in the dressing room with lads you've been to battle with. And yeah, it was great.
You were very vocal on the pitch. 10 minutes before the game, were you the one that was leading the calls for the team and telling them what they want from them?
No, not really. I'd be honestly fairly quiet. I'd be fairly quiet because we all trusted each other. All these lads turned up week in, week out. So there was no need for me to be shouting and roaring at anybody. Every now and again, I'd say maybe once or twice a year, honestly, I would turn around, maybe say to the group of players, just remember who we are, lads. We're Man United. And it would be simple as that. But we great players and great leaders and experienced players, so it didn't need me. I had the easiest job in the world.
What manager? Any great team talks or?
Yeah, he'd obviously had that in his locker, of course. He would keep the players on his toes, but he would generally, he'd have his own office around the corner there, and he would let us get on with it. He trusted the players, but of course when he spoke, then we'd all listen. But again, it wouldn't be what you're thinking, that he'd be going on too much about certain teams. I've obviously famously said it years ago about when we played Spurs, he would say, look lads, remember it's Spurs, but this is a much stronger Spurs team now.
I obviously wasn't playing in those games.
No, you were injured. You were injured, Jamie, yeah. That was a relief to everyone.
So you didn't see Sir Alex Ferguson in here very much. Was this very much the players' sanctuary?
Yeah, and the manager's office, and again with the staff, whether it be Steve or Brian Kidd or wherever, and they would just trust the players and come in. They'd give you snippets of information, and there might be something written up, but again, we would, honestly, we'd a lot of senior players, so we knew what was at stake. We knew the job, we knew the players we were playing against. We didn't need that much instructions,
great
really.
Players, it helps, doesn't it? You know, that's why it makes, I think, for a manager, makes his job so easy. When he looks around and you've got the likes of Roy, Paul Scholes, David Beckham, they're running the dressing room. You know, it makes your job a lot easier. And when that's right now what you're searching for. Gary, and of course, Gary would have been one of the characters that you'd want in your team because he knows what's at stake. And I think that's the thing, not just in Man United, but modern day. There's not too many characters that sort of run the dressing room, even on the pitch, that are managers on the field. If you find them, they're worth their weight in gold.
But just visualise, I'd be in the tunnel before matches. I'd look over my shoulder. I'd have Peter, Dennis Irwin, Nev, whoever, Yapstam, Ronnie Johnson, Butty, Giggs. And I would look over my shoulder. I think we've got a chance today. You know, we're brilliant players.
Do you think these players feel the same?
Well, I hope so. Obviously, we don't know the characters and what the feel of this dressing room is, but we look around, you know, we got players here who won big trophies, won World Cups, but I don't know what the dynamics is like in the dressing room, but you just hope that when they have come to United, that they've enjoyed the pressure of playing for Man United. I know United, we've been critically United the last few years, recruitment, the stadium, facilities, but we've come here early this morning. It's still a great place to come and play football. It really is. I just hope there's enough characters and leadership to get United back to winning ways, but it's a long way back. And sometimes there is players come to United, which we've seen for the last few months, and it looks like maybe the pressure of playing for Man United has been a bit too much for them.
Very upbeat programme notes today, as you'd probably expect from Erik ten Hag, the first home game of 2024. Do you think there is room for optimism for Manchester United fans?
Well, you always have to have that bit of hope. But again, I always say the proof's out on the pitch. When the referee blows the whistle against the Spurs team today, who will be at it and will come after them? United have to be ready. And the players they've not been consistent enough, lost far too many matches, not scoring enough goals, and it looks like the pressure's getting to all of them. So whatever about the manager's programme notes and that positivity, I judge players what they do on the pitch.
And when we were talking about potential new owners, maybe there might not be any signings in January. That seems to be the sort of the mood music right now. Do you think there are the solutions within this dressing room for Manchester United?
Well, you'd hope so. Because again, you can look outside the dressing room all the time. We're constantly talking about Man United need better players. But sometimes the answers are in the dressing room. Not that I think United can start competing with Man City, but they can certainly start winning more football matches. And the answers sometimes are in front of you with the players you have. You have to find a spark from somewhere. But every now and again, United get a decent result. Like Villa a few weeks ago, they come back from 2-0 down. You go, that was brilliant. They were aggressive. They were running off the ball. They scored 3 goals. And then they don't build on that. So the problem for this group of players is they've not been consistent, lost too many matches. And the biggest worry for me is they don't score enough goals. Big problem.
So tell us about one of the most famous things that happened in this dressing room, rightly or wrongly, the flying boot that hit David Beckham. Talk us through where that sort of happened.
Yeah, I think Becks was over there somewhere near the mirror. And, yeah, and I think the manager had to go with him or something for not tracking back. And I think Beck said something back, and I think it was an accident.
Was it a good strike though?
It was, listen, he struck it well, but I was so unfortunate, honestly. If it was anybody else, it would have been fine, but because it was Beck's at the time, and obviously Beck's was so high profile, and dressing rooms, I still love all that stuff.
Pizzagate? Were you here for Pizzagate?
No, I missed that match. One of my regrets, yeah.
You would have liked that one, wouldn't you?
I would have liked it, yeah, in the tunnel, but yeah, unfortunate.
He wasn't just a good-looking guy. He was a very good footballer as well, Roy.
He was, absolutely.
You must have won here at Old Trafford.
Oh, great record. Yeah, I think I won him in Soccer Aid, and I beat Micah Richards in the penalty shootout. It was hard to come here. Listen, we used to play against that midfield. You'd see David Beckham on one wing. You'd see Roy and Paul Scholes and whoever on the left-hand side, Ryan Giggs. It was like, we got it all on today. Fabulous players that used to mind the dressing room for the manager. It was incredibly difficult. We had a few draws here and some great games. I remember playing against Eric, when Eric Cantona made his comeback match, which was an incredible match, 2-2. Great